everyone.
Hey, welcome back. It's Disco Elysium and we're Anthropolokitty.
It is. That's all true. All of that's true. What's our Witcher sense? Is it Tab?
Yes,
okay.
it is Tab.
I know we don't play The Witcher anymore, but it will forever be Tab.
It will always be the
sense.
Witcher sense, yeah.
Trash from some unending party. Sounds...
Hole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect.
More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids.
This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
I wonder if we can push this down to be a shortcut.
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up.
Kick it.
What the hell
There,
is Eternite?
holding
No
it
idea.
up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push it. I'm going to
What is
ask what it
this?
is.
Looks like a makeshift bridge currently drawn up.
Okay.
Because then it's our shortcut.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Nice.
Great.
Love it. That's what we want. So she wanted us to go chat with the people, so we're going to do that.
Yeah. Knock knock on your tent.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Oh, we should have our boombox on our shoulder.
Oh, fuck,
for
we'd
this
be so
conversation.
cool. No. All right, well, 3 people in there is quite tight. I can see why there's just not a lot of room. Even with all the stuff, anyway.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Yeah, for...
Okay,
yes, squeeze in.
Great. We're going to a different place. Oh my gosh. Fuck.
Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether.
This is much bigger on the inside than it was on the outside.
For sure. All right, let's just look at this. Pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosafed Ultra.
I think that's what we're using to get our morale back.
Okay.
Wild, I want to see. Where's the child I used to be?
What's this?
Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. Before you click on any of them, you should get out our boombox.
Okay. Ooh. Yes. Is it a tool? Yeah. Instead of the rubbish bag, eh?
Yeah.
I want to assert my authority by shining the light on the ice. I'm going to click on this in the back here.
Okay.
Big speaker, the big kind they use for live music. All right. Now,
Where are they getting their power from?
great question. Chat with this guy on the front.
Yeah,
please.
I love his spiky
You
hair.
see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Sure.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
For sure. I'm going to shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
Great.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
Fair enough.
Good portrait, though.
Great portrait.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organised?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That's a great answer, which is
It's a great answer.
0. But that's a good framing of it.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
So why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Right.
Place is a shithole.
Yes, it is.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Fine.
Do you want to tell people what we're eating?
We are eating Whitaker's Dark Almond. It is 62% cocoa. So dark, but not the darkest thing you've ever had.
That's good. I like his vibe.
I reckon we should say number 1. There's no need. The place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Yes, we have. But also, what are you
I'm
talking
talking
about?
about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
I like how he's appealing to us to be like,
Yeah.
we'll turn it into a place of music instead of a place of druggery.
As if we don't know what these guys will be up to.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Reversholt.
So I know that the person outside wanted us to like talk them out of it, but I kind of like want them to be free and do what they want to do. Like, they'll fail, but they should give it a go and see what they learn anyway.
Well, it wasn't super clear what she wanted us to talk them out of. If they were going to have some sort of confrontation with the drug happenings in the church themselves,
Maybe we can go and have a look instead.
I think it's better for us to deal with it.
Yeah, fair.
Not that Harry's going to cause anything good to happen, but I'd rather bad things happen to Harry than some random kids.
Strike that! The word!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burners
Are they just us? Are they
I'm
just
very
us?
confused about how Egghead's picture has a bald head and the actual character has hair.
It's a great question.
Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind, or I won't stand for narcomaniacs on of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch, and shake your head gravely. What kind?
What kind? Yeah.
The spooky kind.
And,
What do you mean by spooky?
Ooh, yeah, and it is not a matter for police. It absolutely is. We've already investigated something spooky.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh,
remember the bookshop person's situation. What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
Also fair.
Well, were you going to?
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
He's also got, like, elf ears. But maybe that's just the drawing in the background.
Maybe. And I also wonder if he does actually have hair, but it's tipped back enough that you can't see.
Maybe.
But why would he be called Egghead otherwise? I mean, maybe he's just daft.
Maybe he's just daft.
I don't know.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Help Ravers start a nightclub.
Is our task.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks.
Fuck it. What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet. Who exactly are the people inside the church? Should we just work our way through?
Sure.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building
I
yet.
asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
You trap people inside with a padlock?
I presume he was trapping people out, not trapping people in.
Well, how do they... if they
I don't know,
If they
maybe-
can't get in, maybe how do they get out?
It depends on whether they were in the first place, right? Let's ask the thing so we can find out what he means by
do
that.
it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should
Oh,
hold
they
for a while.
how long didn't he? Oh no!
If it burns down, they're all gonna die. How long have these people been? That's my first question. How long have they been in there?
Maybe say the what first, because they might give us a key.
What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer
fair
the
enough.
key.
Oh, fuck. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool-infused move, tossing it in a new direction. So
Is that
we
a
can-
red check?
It is. We have to
We
fail
will
it.
fail.
So we have to let it fall to the ground. Or we could just see what happens if we fail. Could be funny.
Yeah, it could be funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's gonna fail because we're...
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way...
We're gonna
Oh,
get
no.
smacked in the face by it.
Don't ruin the call by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with a minimum effort.
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb.
Oh,
In
shit.
The looking
Oh, no!
a stabbing pain.
Oh, we've
Tears
lost that
stream
fucking eye.
uncontrollably from
I mean, we
your
haven't, but-
eye.
Oh no, now we're yelling at
No,
them.
it's Alpha. Ouch, goddamn asshole. What is wrong with you? Can't you say I'm in pain right now?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Bend your face in mockery of his useless contrition. You almost eye murdered me. A cop. That's use of lethal force.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
Ooh. He pulls out some black pepper from his belt pack.
Paper.
Oh.
Well,
Is he giving us
looks like
drugs?
there's quite a lot there.
Ooh. Oh, it's money. Yeah, I'm taking
Take
it.
the money. Yeah.
That's the least you can say.
I hope that settles it.
Ooh.
The key?
Okay.
Cautiously hands you the yellow keyring. Thanks.
Is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling
Okay.
sorry.
I think
for
that was
the
worth
mishap.
failing, actually.
Yeah, it was good. We got money.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
How long have they been locked in there? We need to go let them out straight away.
Shit.
Not long. Like a week, maybe.
No! Oh, shit.
How can you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're
Oh,
still
shit.
alive.
85 is not good enough.
Or 85% is good enough. No one lives forever, baby.
I mean, I feel like Harry would say the bottom one,
Yeah.
but I want to say the top one.
Okay, we can go with the top one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
No.
No.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Good for you, buddy.
Fuck, we better go deal
Sure,
with
man.
it.
Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Oh, shit. Who exactly are the people inside the church that are locked in there right now? Who are they?
Who might all be
Thing is,
dead.
I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Well, I kind of like better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything more you can tell me? Because it's not up to them to go investigating, right?
No.
Yes. There's also the machinery.
Tell me about the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
Amazing.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
Something's just come to mind, which we hadn't mentioned at the start of the episode, which is I'm driving, by the way. If
Oh,
if you
yeah,
hadn't
this is
noticed.
driving. Strap yourselves in, folks.
Strap yourselves in.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
I'm so into this.
No, the other one.
There's another feeling?
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kind of it.
What the fuck is going on?
Wow.
So there might be nobody in there.
Okay, well that's kind of a relief.
Yeah.
Shall we again start from the top? What was that about the something
Thing
watching you?
them.
Like, you aren't alone, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaky.
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Great.
Yeah.
Not human, as in a ghost. Do you know what he means?
I mean, maybe.
Non-human means a predator.
Okay.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
The cryptozoologists are going to be into this.
Oh, they are a crab man.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling,
Ugh.
like a crab.
How big was it? How big? Tell me.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Yeah. Ambush behavior. Nod. Crab man.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her.
Yeah.
If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
Well,
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
No, we believe in the crab.
I mean, I want there to be a crab. An evil, mystical crab.
I believe she felt or saw something.
Well, we also know that these guys are sometimes on drugs.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of feelings you get when you're on drugs.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in.
I'm going to
with
be
this
as drawn
nonsense.
as I damn well want to be.
Yeah.
Thank you, logic.
Can you tell me some more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that.
Yep.
I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign
because
from
we've
him.
just talked to him,
Probably
okay.
jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
Okay.
So how can you be sure that they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance.
Uh-huh.
Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Whew. The bottom one is, I don't see a single thing wrong with this argument. I'm not saying that. Well, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
I mean, we kind of do.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't
Okay.
let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
Well, what drugs are there?
All right, let's talk about something
Sure.
else.
What?
You mentioned some kind of ecclesies in the church. Is that how you pronounce it? Who are these ecclesiastes? Yes.
Ecclesiastes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry, I
yeah,
just had to reach
that's a
into
meteor
my
name for the founding party.
religious
Thought
training
it'd be
there.
cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Ooh.
That's a Meteoran name for the founding party. Yeah, mask it.
Yeah.
Mask
Now
it.
humour me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
Okay, so we've got now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for anodic music in one of their churches?
Yeah, let's ask that
Anodic,
question.
sorry. They sound, yeah.
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
Oh, I love how earnest he is about that.
Okay.
The Pericarnassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore.
Yeah, man.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up and then looks at you with a knowing nod as if it's obvious you will now break into a dance. I guess we could.
Can we break into dance?
Fuck
The
yeah.
anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod my head. No words. Enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
By the way, friends, both me and Mama are bopping our
We're
heads.
popping along to the music. Du, 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 du.
Do we want to ask about the posse?
I mean, I understand what a posse is, but
Yeah.
we can still ask the question.
Cool.
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
Kim's part of our posse.
Yeah.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
Okay, so
I don't like this as rude.
No, let's not say that.
I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anodic music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian church.
Yeah, we'll say it.
Yeah! Yakokata, the place to be.
Nice.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly. So, these guys aren't hurting anyone. They're having a
I
good
mean,
time.
they may have trapped live people in a church
shit,
for
I
a
forgot
week.
that for like 5 seconds ago.
It's gone.
I didn't want to say it, But it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
Yeah, I do probably.
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
I mean, we haven't been given the opportunity, but we in real life. Yeah, nice
Got him
work,
going,
Izzy.
thanks. I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I'm just going to start from the top. I see you brought your own water.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh,
He doesn't know what to say.
it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
There's a fuel
It's
station?
like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it.
Shall I? Which one?
Two.
Because I can either just call it out or we start to describe it,
Let
right?
it be a bit vague, yeah.
It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry
He
detergent.
sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now.
Cool. What's with all the nosophed?
The what now?
Yeah.
Point at the bottles of the nasal spray in the corner. The Nosophed Ultra, you have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. We,
He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line.
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
Nah, I'm gonna push him on it. You sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosoped's doing. Without the noser,
Smart.
I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Good.
Nosophed is the shit.
Is it annoyed? Great.
Okay.
Can I have some too? I have some nose problems.
Sure.
Yes!
Here you go, officer.
We needed
The
some more.
noser. Blast away.
The look Mama gave me as I was like, I wish you could get some. Mama just went, with your face. Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt.
Is
a
it
little
white?
Relieved.
It is white.
Okay, maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze. I'm going to do that. It's white. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Slow, but you never know.
Okay, so the speed freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Youths like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more when you were young, too. But you digress.
I mean, we like music now. We're all about the disco.
Rub your chin. What's the gist of it?
The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well.
You're doing great work with that
Plus-
torch there.
And it has to be considered. You can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
Okay, that's it.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
I think we should
Okay.
speak to the other ones because he did say.
So at least that
So
one,
you had
yeah.
a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes on the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign.
Okay.
Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
You're gonna have to tell me about that, man.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears.
Sign. I need to know about sign.
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
He
How
continues to rearrange his tools. Sounds like he might be a bit autistic. Like,
I want to know how we align them and what it is. I need to know. I mean, but it's not going to be the option.
You're like, I'm too busy swinging this torch around for us to progress the storyline.
Okay, so tell me about
I
the
hope you
machines.
all are bopping along with this music too. Tell me about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Okay.
Wires going
Bullshit.
into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some
I guess
fucked
sign is
up
like vibe.
Samoan science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
So what's wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though.
Okay.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
Sure.
The supernatural, why do you think it's real that it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, the
But there's
pale
also
exists.
stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs.
I agree, Noid.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Why are you called Noid?
I like how we just
Hardcore
leave that.
aesthetic is esoteric.
We're kind of just
It's
leaving a
not
lot of
meant
it.
to be discussed with the law at this moment.
Okay.
He picks up some sort of widget. Oh, we are just kind of leaving a lot of these conversations just...
Yeah, yeah.
Out
Just like
there.
I'm not gonna follow up on that. Just gonna
It's
ask
not
a different
easy to
thing.
achieve harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Uh-huh.
I see.
We have a new task. Sync the signs with Noid.
Guess that's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
Okay, maybe I'll come back later. And let's talk to
A
Earkid.
young man with peroxide blonde hair
Oh, he does have hair,
holds
according to
up
the
a
narrative.
Harmon Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secret.
Hardcore!
Yes, say nothing. Yeah?
Sure.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing?
But is it?
I mean, really? Do you want to that?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Okay.
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yegs and args. This produces a guttural Gotwaldian accent and makes him sound more animal, more in it.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe it's not Gotwaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
Shit. Okay, so
Let's ask the top one.
because the other option is Yeg. So this is the famous Van Eyck I'm hearing.
You know about him?
He moves his mouth, but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you've rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Oh.
I'm inclined to say 2, because I feel like number 1 could get us into hot water, but I do think it would be funny if we said number 1.
I do like number 1. Ooh. I mean, what's the worst that could happen if we say we like him?
I mean,
Fuck it, now we're gonna go with say it.
Okay.
Good, good.
The Advent?
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Okay. I think
We got a
it.
task to solve the egghead puzzle.
But did we? No.
I don't know.
Solve the egghead puzzle. There has to be some way to talk to this person. You just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about science. What if you just try again and find your way out of this maze? Should we speak to him one more time and then leave?
If you want to,
The
yeah.
young man
This is hardcore.
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you? I don't feel like this is the way to speak to him. Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Okay, I'm gonna one more. I have a feeling that maybe
Hardcore,
say nothing.
Hardcore.
Still say
Hardcore
nothing.
is a mega.
Still say nothing.
Internally coherent.
I want to keep saying nothing. The other option is I was wondering if you needed help in listening. Still say nothing.
Encore! All right!
Say nothing.
Yeah!
You gotta say
he
nothing.
furrows his brow, as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feeble-ish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. Say so hardcore.
Well, the other option is no, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't. Which I would love to say, but we can come back to that. So hardcore.
Is it though?
Oh.
I was just thinking that a moment ago. No, wait. What do we want to say?
I don't know. I'm lost.
Nah, fuck it, I'm in.
But is it? I mean, really?
Ooh, he tilts his head to the other side like an owl.
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
Ooh, either I was thinking that too, or I don't know what it says say exactly. Yeah?
Number 1.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker. Yeah!
Okay, so what I want to do, sorry.
Okay, yeah, do whatever you want.
I wanted to go say nothing, say nothing.
Internally coherent.
I want to say nothing.
Hardcore. All right. Yeah.
I think it's nothing here.
He furrows his brow
Oh shit.
as his
Yeah, this one.
Hardcore.
No, but seriously,
Okay.
I'm a little worried that it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Ooh, okay. So just answer the question, or that would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Nah, it's just idiotic. I like the top one, I think.
Do what you like.
But there was no question.
Okay, so I think we're getting on the right track. What do you think?
Hardcore. Internally coherent. Hardcore. All right.
he furrows
Hard.
The question is, what
Okay, that would have
is
been
the
good
question?
if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just
But there
idiotic.
was a question?
Ah, no, it's not the right path. Okay, I don't know.
I suspect we were on the right path and we should have said we knew Van Eyck.
The close.
Oh, you reckon?
Maybe.
True. Hard. Full. Car.
Okay, so how did we get there?
Hardcore to the mega.
We didn't go, hang on, this is too far already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here comes
Be with us, friends.
the close. True. Hardcore.
And then we said, but is it, I mean, really, right?
Yeah.
this young man adds a capital G.
Okay.
Or maybe
Okay, cool.
it's not got volume.
You know about him?
You know Van Eyck?
Yes, I'm a major egghead.
Wow.
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
I mean, we have already told him that that's not true, but
So am I. So am I.
he begins to shake his head so everyone would understand.
Oh, is that why they call you Egghead? Because
Egghead to the mega. The
Oh.
K became the G. The boy became the man.
There you go.
There you go.
The advent?
Oh, it
Oh, we
didn't
still
pass.
haven't done it. Okay, let's do it some
Fuck.
other time.
Yeah. Well, that was cool.
Okay, let's go to the church and save anybody
Well,
who's
let's
trapped
talk
inside.
to her first.
Okay.
The shaggy-haired girl.
They wanna
kneels
do
on the
us.
sea ice.
Check in with
She
her
looks
outside.
up
They did want
as you
us to
approach.
ask her about the
So you
crab.
talked to my associates, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to help us? With
I'll
the
help you.
church?
Yes.
I mean,
I'll help you, all right?
great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
That's it. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
We'll believe
She's
you.
less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Well, we'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe.
They did not tell us about this.
She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
All right, go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely
It's the
silent.
Slender Man.
Ugh.
He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Okay, don't blame you. What did this crab man look like? Like, if that happened, you were just kind of... the fact that she turned around and left is wild. For me, I'd be backing out of that.
Yeah.
What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
I reckon if it wasn't something preternatural, it was possibly a shadow of an actual creature crawling down a light that was behind her.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
Well, she could see him.
A crab and a banger.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member.
Ah.
I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Maybe he's a acrobatist.
A gangster crab man? Yeah, I don't believe you. I'm in. You were wrong. I believe you.
Yeah.
Why?
What would you stand to gain from telling us this?
Yeah.
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
I'd like to know about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question, please.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
Good
To
response.
the cops.
What about you? Tell me something about yourself. I don't know. Let's get in
Me?
there.
I'm a silver bird.
Maybe I'll ask about this later.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but
Okay, that's it for now.
Okay.
What's the time? Yes, we have time.
Save the people trapped in the church.
I thought you were going to say save, which I think is probably a good idea
Oh,
anyway.
also save. You know, I'm a big fan of saving. My
sure.
brain has been like weird for the fact that I'm like an oversaver. My brain has been struggling while playing Tears of the Kingdom to remember to save.
Oh.
Because I think because we play Genshin and it looks very similar. That door is open and is definitely
Heavy
not shut
wooden
with a blade.
doors, more than
Okay,
twice
never
your
mind.
height,
I'm wrong.
stand shut in front of you. The rectangular
shine the
seawall
light in there, it's just a
ornamentation
dark hole.
appears in stark contrast to the padlock,
Shall I
carelessly drilled into the wood.
Inspect before I open it. So inspect the carpentry.
Carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Okay, I'm going to run my hand over a beam.
The
Yes, touch it
surface
with
is
your
smooth
face.
from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
Well, look at that sticker then.
You see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Yeah. we know.
Okay.
There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
What makes it so modern?
It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here.
Nice. Take another look at the boring padlock for absurdity's sake.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing
Yes.
like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Ooh. I'm going to put it in the ledger. But
Yeah.
here, hang on, our options are put the sticker in the ledger after the last entry where it belongs, or put the sticker on your ledger right on the cover. Oh, I'm tempted by that.
Same.
Shake it off your thumb and throw it on the wind. I'm going to put it on the cover then.
Okay.
Yeah? Yappy?
Yeah.
Voila. Looks very modern.
Secret task complete. Yes.
You're part of the Future Brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby.
Amazing. Open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Pull on those doors.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes.
Interesting.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city,
Oh, God.
Ooh. Maybe we should not explore too much of this. If we establish that there's nobody in here, maybe we should bring Kim back, because I'm aware it's 8 p.m. and Kim might actually be back. I don't know what
Strange stillness feels usually look ahead. You should walk here. No one. Okay, I agree with you. Let's come back to the church.
Oh, I was just going to say maybe we should look around to make sure there's nobody in there. And be
Nah,
like,
fuck
hey,
it.
you're free.
No, they can stay another day. They can.
Okay.
They're not smart enough to see an open door. I don't know. I don't know that we can help
Don't know
them.
what to do with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's romp on back and see if.
I need to go down and around.
See if Kim is back. Although I suspect we might just see him in the morning. Maybe.
Oh, do you think?
Maybe.
It wasn't super clear, and in terms of the text, it was like, he'll be gone for the rest of the day, which is, as you, like, does that mean until we wake up, or...
Okay. Let's work on the assumption that we won't see him until tomorrow. Yeah? But we can still see the smoke on the balcony, but first, because he's not going to be out, I assume, until after 9, if I recall correctly.
9 p.m. is the time we're aiming for, yeah.
Then let's have a quick chat to our cryptozoologists.
Well, also Gary the Fascist.
Oh, Gary the Fascist. Let's do that first. Gary the Fascist first, because I think that might even be time.
Okay, no
constrained.
car here, so that probably means Kim's not back. Gary the
Hello.
Fascist. We don't know why we need to talk to him, but like at least 2, if not 3 of you said we should, so...
Hello.
What's
Talk to
up?
me.
Looking for something, Aunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Not quite sure what to do here.
Maybe
I can flip
3?
Through 3. You said something about the rights and privileges of lorrymen.
Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything.
I mean,
We
is
try
this
to
Gary
hold
the
on to our
Fascist?
privileges.
He's just
Racist lorry
racist lorry driver.
Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient.
I'm just clicking buttons.
Hell no. It's a guild. Invitation only. Unions work for the rich fucks. They're basically the same. Been trying
You're
to fuck us
Googling,
out
yeah.
of our heritage in the name of profit, but you can't replace experience. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice and no laughing matter.
You
Oh,
hauling?
not much
We've done
anymore.
this.
I'm here. Apples.
Apples. It's exactly.
Fine. It's about biology, not
Change the topic.
Oh no.
The way he says
Different
it makes
guy.
all
suit yourself.
Okay, I'm out. Who's Gary?
He's one of the cryptozoologists.
Oh, yes. All right, let's go talk to the cryptozoologist.
He's the younger one. So we definitely didn't know that he was a fascist because he hasn't had a chance to say anything yet.
No. Which one? This one? Can't talk to him. I can only talk to these ones. Who's this?
Well, I can't see who you're pointing at.
This guy.
Hello, officer.
Here he is.
The
Name's
cryptofascist.
Gary. Boy,
Oh, we
am
have-
I ever so grateful to you. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
He nods towards Lena. Yes, and we have seen this before. We have
Okay.
spoken to him. Yeah. Okay, so we need to speak with Lena first. Hello. We like Lena. Get in between them. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know what's happening either.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out.
The boombox.
I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
It was a truly epic long distance trek.
Nah, I'm basically also a cryptozoologist.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, in that case, sweetie,
Got a tie.
let me give you a small token of my gratitude.
She hands
It's
you
a tie,
a ribbon.
Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
Amazing.
So it's a ribbon tied out together by a silver bird skull.
An 8-eyed Teraton tie.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
We should grill her about the rest of the cryptids because Kim really didn't want to listen, remember? He said, you've only got time for like 2.
Oh yeah.
So
but
let's
we
do
should
this.
ask her the top one first.
Yeah, you never told me you've seen the Phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
You'd be surprised how much rambling
Nonsense.
we'll put up with.
Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
Nice.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
Measuring things is important. How did she get the size?
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Yes.
I feel like we've really infiltrated this
Secret society.
Yeah.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
What
Wait,
happened?
where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Okay, and then what happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
Cool.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I'm into it.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Ooh, did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Okay.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
I love the way he says phasmid.
Phasmid.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
Cool.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration for getting a wide smile on his face. They're cute as.
They are nice. That's so cute.
Yeah, so you're on a date.
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I know what that means. So its limbs are white?
Wait a second.
Oh, sorry.
There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Well, I'm just curious about what she's holding back. Like, is it that she made up her story? Is it that she didn't make up the story, but she's aware that her story has made him even more obsessed with cryptozoology? Is it that she thinks he takes it all too far? You know, like, I'm really interested.
So, yeah, the one I was thinking of was maybe he only likes her because of that, or maybe that's why he fell in love with her instead of falling in love with her for other reasons. But it seems like they truly, seem to like each
their
other.
affection is genuine. But
But I wonder if, that's what I was wondering, if she had some lingering doubts about how it started. But, I mean, that's all complete
conjecture.
Conjecture,
at this
that's the right
point.
word. Yeah. So how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
This is true.
To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Crab man.
What if it is the case?
I don't want to ask her if she imagined it. Shall I ask, though, anyway?
No, don't.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
I feel like there's a clue. I'd really like to hear more about the cryptids. I want to hear about the cryptids that we haven't learned about yet. I feel like this is our opportunity.
Sure.
Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid that you're interested in learning about?
So we've asked about the dangerous one. We don't ask about any of the others, do we? Only
Can
have
we
time for
ask
one?
about the biggest one? Because I
Biggest.
want to know if the crab man is a cryptid.
Yes.
I thought we'd agreed on just one cryptid, sweetie.
Just one or two more, Lena. Pretty please.
Yeah.
Can't say no to that.
Yes.
Well, biggest cryptid is the giant of Coconur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Coconur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
What do you mean by a strange light?
Mirage or a psychogenous luminance.
She does not elaborate on the nature of this luminance further.
And just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Coconur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable. That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Coconur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Coconur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Oh. Or it could be not one creature, because that's like the biggest organisms in the world are not like a single...
Or they can be kind of a conglomeration of organisms.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
I agree Inland Empire, I'm in.
Gravity anomaly. Digging it. Digging this parascientific stuff right here.
I want to see if we can get into the last
Sure,
couple. and then we're
try.
done.
Give it your best shot.
What's the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis.
Oh, that was fast. Cryobacter catlensis?
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about it?
The bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history.
Okay.
Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria
What?
she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
That's wild.
Why would she do that?
Let's start with the weight anyway.
Yeah.
She injected herself with it?
Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since times immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
Oh. But that doesn't even make sense. Sometimes bacteria can survive in ice because they're frozen, not because they're just like hanging around immortally.
Okay. No, yes, it's kind of wild.
And also, what if you just injected yourself with a fucking disease before you've analyzed it properly and you just like infect the entire human race and we all turn into zombies?
This is how it all begins.
Exactly. Have you seen a single zombie movie, lady?
Yeah, so you mean there is an immortal geologist wandering the world, or I don't understand, why would you prolong your life? Being alive is terrible. I intend to live forever too, as a symbol. She was preparing for the end time. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings. An immortal bacteria, immortal geologist, that's too wild. I don't like the bottom one, but I could say any of the above ones.
I like number 1 or number 4.
4. I'm going to go with that then.
Okay.
She was preparing for the end time. She wanted to witness and record the twilight proceedings.
Mm-hmm. Mijanou did talk about the end of the world a great deal before her abrupt departure.
I love that it was just,
Yeah, that's what the situation was.
Everyone thought the bacteria had driven her mad, but she really was a brilliant woman. Maybe the Cryobacter catlensis allowed her to see something no one else could.
Okay, I'm going to ask about the invisible one and then ask about the tie.
Okay.
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Which, for the record, was, are there any invisible cryptids?
Yes. What's that?
The Col de Mama d'Aqua, or thin whisper of sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. It's very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
What does it sound like?
Like nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window and you wouldn't even know it. Could be anywhere. Everywhere, even.
But how can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
What the fuck is a corpuscle?
Hey, Google. What is a corpuscle?
That is not going to give you what you need.
It did not. Oh, no, it did. It did?
A minute body or cell in an organism, especially a red or white cell in the blood of vertebrates.
Well, it did say a minute when it means a minute.
Okay.
There you go. I don't know if you call that a minute body or cell in an organism, especially a red or white cell. There you go.
Tiny cell. Okay.
Could it be here right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Turns out that's just what tinnitus is.
Maybe it's predatory.
What if it's predatory?
What is it
It's
eating?
not. Don't worry.
a
If
great
it
question.
were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also
Maybe it's eating our hope.
What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing.
Just had a thought around like ornithologists like study of birds. I wonder if there's migration of animals through the Pale.
Whoa, that's a great question.
When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
I just want to nod eagerly.
The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
Why do they not just assume these are echoes?
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
That's a good question you had, which is, why is it not something else? Go on.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Name them?
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mama d'Aqua they followed individually.
Why is the Mama D'Aqua so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
How can you extinguish something that has no physical form?
That's a great question.
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama d'Aqua's. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
Do you know?
I don't think they cancel each other out, do they?
Surely not.
I feel like your husband would know the answer to this question.
I know. Hey. Hello.
Ça va?
Oui, ça va bien. What happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency? Do they cancel each other out, amplify each other, or we don't know?
Both. Well, it would depend on the phase of the frequency.
Cool. All right, there's your answer. I'm going to say I don't know. We don't have enough information.
If they're perfectly in phase, they'll amplify each other.
Okay.
If they're 180 degrees out of phase, they'll completely cancel each other out.
Oh. Huh. So we don't have enough information to know this.
No. Is there context as to what they're up to?
They're invisible birds!
Oh, then definitely don't amplify each other.
It's invisible birds, and the researchers made random sounds to try and communicate with the invisible birds. That's the context.
They're probably going for amplify each other.
Okay.
If you're just going straight frequency.
Well, the context is we were told that they had accidentally nearly driven the birds to extinction.
But we think the birds might actually be sound, not a
They
physical
think
creature.
the birds are sound.
Not an actual creature. Like, they're a creature of
Anyway,
pure
there's
sound.
no way to explain this within a moment of a few seconds.
I don't even know how much of this is making it in, but...
They're probably aiming for the first one.
Yeah, they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
But again, that would be 180 degrees out of phase, rather than same.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, friends.
Not enough
Science!
So I don't know how much we're going to keep it.
Let's say I don't know. I'd say I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, dear, they cancel each other out. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Koltama Madakwa population anywhere.
Okay.
About what?
The last one I'll just ask this and then we can... Yeah. So is this a bird... This bird a cryptid? And point to the tie she gave us.
No. It's the cryptid.
Okay, wow. The cryptid?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Is this Googling something?
I am. I'm Googling the Haast eagle.
Wingspan?
Yeah.
I think it was only like 7...
3 meters.
3.
Which I thought was one of the largest birds that we...
Well, it's a time period thing, right? You know, like...
True.
Bigger things existed when the air was thinner, right? So I don't think a bird that size could exist in our world with the amount of gravity and air thickness that we have. But who the fuck knows what's going on in this world?
The air was thinner. That's an interesting...
You know, like when like the giant bugs and stuff existed, it was because... I don't know whether it's literally that the air was thinner or there was less gravity or what, but it was one of those things or something like that. So there was less pressure on the carapaces, and so they would buckle under the weight of...
I'm going to Google this afterwards,
Yeah.
so I'm fascinated. Okay.
You don't know this? This is like the era of giant bugs and stuff. Anyway,
Okay, but we'll Google afterwards. I was just thinking because 11.5 meters is massive.
It's too big. It couldn't exist in this world.
Phenomenally large. And then I was like, well, the Haast eagle, because I was thinking about the Haast eagle, was always touted as like one of the great giants, recent giant birds, right? I mean, it's extinct now, but...
Which, if you haven't heard of it before, is an eagle that existed in Aotearoa before people got here.
Yes.
And we're always really sad about it because, A, there aren't any major predator, land-based predators in New Zealand, which is good for our bird life.
Yes.
But it's also sad because we don't have anything cool like wolves or tigers or anything like that. And we're like, we wish we still had the Haast eagle so we could like fly around on them. They wouldn't actually be big enough for that.
Oh no, we would be, if we still had the Haast eagle, we would be, we'd have like walking children to school buses and stuff.
Yeah. You
Safe
can't
from
leave your babies outside.
Yeah. I was just going to say one of the interesting things about the Haast eagle was people finding the claw marks where they've, been attacking moa, which are also giant birds, but they're land birds, or they also
they kind of
extinct.
look like an ostrich.
Anyway, that's why I was googling it, because it's phenomenally large.
Yeah, it's way too big. Anyway.
Mutation. All of evolution is a mutation.
That's true.
Until it was cited by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
I need to hear about the sighting. Why would we need to back up a notch? No, we're going to go into the sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Oamrau is?
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert. An ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water.
So probably hallucinating.
After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan.
I feel that the conditions are right for exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Hallucination.
Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Because even if he was hallucinating, there might have been a real bird. I just maybe not as big as he
Yeah, it might have
thought.
just been a vulture. Vultures are pretty massive.
Yeah.
Eat the bird. Uva. It's the only way to survive.
I understand he started hunting it.
Yes, a bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist.
I just don't think a rock would do it for a bird with an 11-meter wingspan. Like, that is the length of the room I'm in probably right now, if not more.
More than that.
Yeah, and like it's not a giant room, but it's a whole room, right? Like, that bird has got to be massive.
Yeah, unless its wingspan is like wildly outsized to the size of the rest of its body. Like,
guess it's possible.
The bird is going to be massive. Like, you'd have to be holding like a boulder between both of your hands, barely. And he's so weak and yeah. Anyway, carry on.
I know. I just feel that a rock is not going to do it.
A rock's not going to do it.
Watch out.
Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his
Oh, of
mind.
course.
It kept him from approaching. He could step back, but every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uwe spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
This, of all of them, is the one that's making me be wanting to say number 3, like, seriously, mind control. But let's say number 1, how did he survive to tell
I
a
was gonna
story?
say 1 or 2 is up to me. Yeah, but also this is the one where we've all the rest you and I have just been like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is great, this is amazing. This one, I mean, hey, this is a world where the pale exists.
Yeah,
Shrug.
but, like, I don't know, they just felt a little bit overly convenient for his storytelling.
What if these creatures are coming through the pale from a world that people haven't yet been to.
I love that.
Okay. Hold on out to
But also, it would like if this was anything even vaguely based on reality, it would make more sense that he was just frightened.
Yes.
And couldn't take a step forward because he was scared.
Yes.
Then, I've told you the story of my friend who saw the crocodile.
Maybe. Do you want to tell the story?
Okay, so this is an old flatmate of mine. Way back when I lived in Otatahi, Christchurch. He was Australian, the guy in question, and he once had this experience when, I've already told you the punchline of the story, but he had this experience once when he was in Australia. He was out in the country, in the outback, and had been parked up somewhere doing something, and he was going back towards his truck to get into his car, and he suddenly his whole body locked up.
Ooh.
Like he was just
instinctually.
Yeah, like he just was walking towards his truck, and then suddenly every single muscle in his body wouldn't move, and he was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, am I having like a stroke or something? And then out of the corner of his eye, he saw this massive crocodile just sitting there. And he hadn't consciously noticed it at all. But his reptilian brain had.
Instinctually froze him.
Forgive the pun. Yeah.
What a spooky thing to happen.
Yeah. I would believe that more than the fact that there's a fucking mind-controlling bird.
Hold on, how did he survive to tell the story?
The eight-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there.
What the fuck?
And the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
Okay, look, I think in the context, like, you and I would be like, I don't know about this one. I'm just gonna, Harry's into this.
Yeah, okay.
An 8-eyed, a mind-controlling bird, fuck yes.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrao is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
So that was the last anyone saw of it?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Paracarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Interesting.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Yes, fair conceptualization, but we're into this.
But also,
also,
it's hard to, like, sometimes there's things that people assume with modern thinking about ancient depictions of things.
Yes.
That, without the context of the time, are just totally way off.
Yes.
So it may have been 8 eyes.
Like, because there's some shared understanding of what things mean at the time, right? When you're talking about those different contexts. Like, we know what the recycling symbol looks like. It means.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
But someone without context knowing what it is, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it's just some arrows going around in a triangle.
It could be the cycle of life.
Yeah, it could be a hurricane.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like how, you know how in like those kind of monk illuminations that they used to do? There's lots and lots of ones which have snails. Snails and people riding snails. And people now are like, we don't know what was up with all the snails.
We don't know what the snails are. But it could have been just, I don't know, something like that, right?
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
Well, that was a great way of using an hour of in-game time and an hour of lifetime.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So this has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
No, we're out. Cool. So, I think that's probably where we leave it for now, right? But we're going to, after this,
But Gary!
we will speak with Gary, and we will speak with The other cryptozoologist.
Australian who's not quite right, but that's okay. Good job.
Insulin, the
That's not a good.
spasmid.
That's me deliberately not doing a good job for the record.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. It was fun. I'm tired.
It was. I'm really tired too. So
friends,
that might be us for tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. Play some good music. Have a
Yeah.
good evening.
Yeah. Vibes. Feel the vibes of radio waves, sound waves, and spectral waves.
We'll catch you next time.
See you then.
Bye.